Hello, welcome to Hotline FN, the live call-in show for your hot takes, bold predictions, and unpopular opinions surrounding the competitive Fortnite scene. This is episode 29. We're getting close to that big 3-0. I've heard once you cross that line, your show officially enters boomer territory, so approaching with apprehension. As it is, though, we've got a fantastic panel set up for tonight. There's been quite the weird vibe in the community lately. I don't know if weird's the right word for it, but there's been a vibe in the community, so I wanted to have some friends close by for tonight. We got Balla, we got Bumpaah, and we've got Shyowager. I'm counting with my hand, but I'm pointing off screen because I'm dumb, but it's going to be a fantastic time. Before we get going, I need to let everybody know that this is a call-in show. We want your hot takes. We want your insane predictions. We want what you think, and we want to talk about it. So hit ! Hotline FN to get a link to the Discord where you can submit a take, prediction, so on and so forth. This is not a question and answer show, so that's what we're not looking for. Okay, that being said, let's bring out the boys. Yo, what's up, everybody?
Yo,
Hey.
what's up?
Yeah.
What's up, boys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that your cool thing?
Yeah, hold up. I played along, but
I wanted to utilize the hood, man. I utilized the hood to its maximum capabilities, and now
Definitely.
those capabilities are exhausted.
yeah, no one
Ready.
can use the hood any better than how you just have. So cool, awesome, perfect. All right, well let's go around the room here a little bit, huh? Balla, it's been like you were on the last episode. It's been that long. It's been 2 weeks. We took last week off. So how you been? What have you been up to?
Just hurting. I don't know, babies apparently. Shio Bump. I don't know what these guys are doing.
What?
Like,
Come on, man.
I'm just pissed off all of a sudden before the show because Shio is playing a freaking Valorant scrim right before we're going live for Hotline FN, and Bump is like, I don't know, running to the bathroom or something. Like a.
Is
I had to
this-
go get a beer.
Is this
See, I
just
got-
like a little
Even
like
worse.
Look.
So you have literally 3 drinks in front of
This-
you.
No.
That thing is in a measuring cup.
All right, listen. No. All right, so I did this. All right, I'm getting close to being done with this. I took a shot before this because I thought I was playing catch up with you guys, but then Tim told me he was completely sober. So now I'm way ahead of you guys, and then I had to run downstairs and grab a beer because I was almost out of this, and I didn't want to interrupt the show by having to go back downstairs. So I'm just being considerate.
It's okay. We
I
have
have a
4 people.
defense.
We can. What's up, Shio?
My defense is that one time I tuned in to Hotline FN, and there was a 10-minute countdown at 11:30, so I thought I had some leeway. The game went very, very close. Apparently, we had a 1-minute countdown and it was starting hot at 11:30. So I disrespected it, and I apologize, but that is my defense.
Okay,
Stepping on a
yeah.
sneaky
It's his
100%.
defense, but I like how he like at the end he's like, I'm taking responsibility, but he starts it with, how dare Tim start on time for once. I see it. Okay, well, is that all you've been up to, Balla? Is just hurting these
Yeah.
guys? Okay, tight.
No, man, like, just hurting in general, just like general hurting for the broadcast this week, for broadcast last week. That's for broadcast randomly. I don't know. I did 2 shows off of like literally 24 hours notice recently, so it's pretty
Yep.
cool. But yeah, so hurting. Hurting and hurting. You know what I'm
Both.
saying?
Both in the heart. Okay, I see how it is. All right, Bumpaah, well, you were here for the last episode as well, so
Wait,
That's
like
cool.
the literal last episode?
the last one we did.
No.
Really? This is back to back?
Yeah. Well, we didn't do one last
Rob.
week.
We did invite you twice,
Bro, I don't keep track here. I don't keep track of your episode numbers.
What is
I'm
with your
sorry.
mustache, dude? Please.
Bro, all right, listen, man, listen. All right, I'm an entertainer, okay? I'm not always being hilarious on stream, so
Oh,
everything
I
I
see
do, man,
that type of
it's for the
sensitive
people.
thing.
It's for the people, bro. Like
yeah. Uh-huh.
you click on my stream, you see a skinny, pale white dude with a goofy fucking mustache. You're just gonna smile, man. It's gonna make you feel better about yourself because you don't look this bad, Like
You don't look bad.
you can sleep.
I like the hair
you can
part.
sleep soundly at night.
I'm rocking it.
You can sleep soundly at night knowing you're not fucking as ugly as Bumpaah is.
Aw,
And
I
that's
don't
what
like
I'm-
this.
that's what I'm-
Hey, we don't make fun of my
I'm for-
friends on my show, damn it. You
I'm
look
for the
great.
people.
Shut up.
I'm for the people. It's the content stash.
What have you been
Yes,
up to,
sir.
Bumpaah? What have you been up to the
I've
last
been
2 weeks?
playing a shitload of Valorant. I fucking love this game. It's so much fun. planning on making a ton of content around it.
Mhm.
And I'm just super excited for this FNCS to be over with, so I can start grinding Valorant harder.
This is the hard
And I can-
counterpoint here
I
represented
can put
on the
Fortnite
show.
in the rear view mirror. You know what I'm saying?
I've got to say that the very first response to my tweet this morning about the show going live tonight was, "Oh yay, Fortnite's dead party." It's not what this is, but Bumpaah's here representing.
Yeah. You know,
Shyo,
Mhm.
we're done with Bumpaah. What have you been up to?
I mean, he's got it in his back mirror, but I got Fortnite in the side mirror, and then Valorant in the other side mirror, so like left and right, and then front mirror. Like we're just big chilling, you know.
Yeah.
Food, like, exercise, and like petting my dog and stuff. But yeah, I'm just playing Valorant, trying to cast Fortnite whenever, and then yeah, chilling.
Hell yeah.
This all makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the side mirror like still looks back, right? Like
Yeah, it's still behind you, bro. Yeah. So
Bam.
You're putting both
Got him.
Fortnite and Valorant behind you. So
Depends on the angle of the mirrors, right? Like
what's through the front windshield?
front
let's
windshield.
hope he doesn't have a freaking driver's license. That's all I got.
Just like taped to his mirrors like a picture of Valorant.
Yeah.
We love you.
Man. Yeah.
We love you. Yeah. Have you been doing your daily YouTube uploads? Because you
Absolutely
still
not.
have that
Reverse
tweet
of
pinned. You still have the tweet pinned.
I don't have it pinned. I don't have
was
it
a
pinned.
fake grinder.
Oh, you don't?
Shai's a fake grinder.
I swear,
Dude,
as of like
I got
yesterday,
the
you had it
notifications.
pinned.
He's the fakest of grinders.
Listen,
He's the
I
fake
changed that
grinder.
pin tweet like 3 days ago. I'm trying to
3
respond
days
to every
ago.
DM.
Alright.
That's the cool thing I'm doing now. It's
I have a
difficult.
question.
It's hard. Yeah.
Have you answered every DM?
Yes, I have. Successfully.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Props. Balla's gonna DM you right now and then call you up for not answering.
Must
it.
not get a lot of DMs.
Oh,
I can see a DM right here that you still have not responded.
I have a 24-hour notice of responding to
Oh,
DMs
man.
after that
From
tweet.
last Saturday.
Last Saturday.
yo, I don't
From
get
where?
any DMs. Bubba, do you get DMs?
I get a fuckload of DMs.
What the fuck? Guys, please
Like,
DM me. Slide
3
up
a
in
day.
those DMs. I feel so,
So
left
annoying.
out.
I don't want to answer your dumb questions, chat. Stop bothering me.
Send them to me instead. I'll answer them. I'm bored all day long. I'm lonely
Trying to
inside.
drink
Let's
in
do this. All right, guys. Well, I haven't been paying attention to there's not enough topics. Chat. Exclamation point. Hotline FN. Get in the Discord. Drop a take. Let's talk about it. You're tired of listening to us just talk about ourselves. I'm tired of listening to these guys talk about themselves. Let's talk about Fortnite some. You know what I'm saying? I see Infamous in the chat. I see Cisco Boy Wonder in the chat. These guys aren't putting up takes, so
Yeah,
I'm a little like, what are you guys up to? You know what I'm saying?
They're slacking.
I
I
know,
know y'all
right?
got something on your mind. I know
you
you
got it.
got something you want to bitch about.
I know you got it. I know you got it on your mind. So let's start with this. So FNCS is this weekend. Okay. Have the leaderboard bugs been fixed?
Like define bugs.
Define
That-
bugs, yeah.
Not working, like not being persistent.
I
That
mean-
was fixed 2 weeks
I mean,
ago.
it
No,
gets
last
fixed
FNCS,
and
right?
It gets fixed and it comes back all the time. You know, like it's never truly fixed. They say they fix it and then a patch later it breaks again. So like,
But was it fixed this last weekend?
yeah, Tim, it got fixed.
But it was
that what
fixed.
you
this
wanna
last
hear?
No, I just was curious. I
Like-
literally didn't know. I was like, I don't know. Was it fixed for last weekend? All right, cool. That's
I mean,
good to know.
Yeah, leaderboard bugs for the 6-game format ones are usually big chillin', or it's more involved. So like we're
Sure.
big chillin' on leaderboards. We're big chillin'.
Okay, hell yeah, that's good. to
Are
know.
we? These leaderboards are bad, bro. What?
For heats though, it's individual customized lobbies. Like we're
Yeah,
chilling, right? Like flushing
Okay.
out lobbies.
No,
Like,
we're not. The leaderboards
don't
are
think
so
so?
bad. No,
mean,
they
they
take
up-
forever to update.
what
Like, they
bugs
take
are there?
forever to
update? I respect and
Mm.
agree with, but what is
Yeah.
what is the bug? What bugs are we talking about?
I was just
Like,
talking about
if
how
you're-
it
if
wouldn't
you're
persist
duo-
between matches.
If your duo disconnects,
Mhm.
then your points don't count. I think that's one. I don't really know of any others. Like there's no winner royale style like straight up games don't count and then you get put into a lower elo. But I know that there's like if a duo disconnects or if he like leaves or something, your points won't count. So
But isn't that what the Winter Royale thing was all about in the first place? Like,
well, I
that
mean,
was-
the winner royale thing happened to me, and I didn't leave or anything like that. Like it just one random game. It was like day one EU, like one random game just didn't.
yeah,
count.
I know. I'm just saying because that totally
Okay.
appeared to be the thing that came
Like, there-
back
I think-
last
yeah,
weekend, and
it's
they were
the
like,
same
"Oh,
bug.
well, we've just found out about a new bug that's been affecting, like, you know what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
it's the same it's the
think
same
that's fixed.
problem. It's the same problem, but there's different causes like every other week, It's been fucking I just tweeted about it the other day, like FNCS squads week 2. That wasn't like a leaderboard bug though. That was oh yeah, I'm wrong. That wasn't a leaderboard bug. It was the queues literally went down for
Yeah.
like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
instead of restarting the session, they just added another fucking hour onto it.
They just
still
slapped
makes
it on.
That still makes my blood boil. Can we just dedicate this Hotline FN to ranting about that? Because
That one thing.
it actually blows my fucking mind. Week 2 of squads, NA East, they had restarted EU 3 times the week before because they had the same problem where queues went down. They restarted it 3 times to contain the competitive integrity of the session. And then I think it was a weekend or something like that. I forgot like it was like a holiday weekend. I think it was Labor Day weekend. That at week 2 was for NA East, and queues went down for 20 minutes, and they said, "Fuck it, just add another hour." And don't even explain that if you play 11 games, your 11th won't count, and your 10th and your first will, and yada yada yada. Dude, that shit still triggers me so hard.
Yep. I mean, we could start to compile. While we wait for topics to roll in, we can start to compile a list of dangerous
have a call
situations to look out for. Right. So all the grotto teams, they got to look out for that one death spot outside of the caves. Don't get in boats because those can. Yep. Don't get into any boats because they might kill you.
We should have a Hotline FN dedicated to going back through the entire history of the game and like listing out every single fuck up that they've ever done.
Don't scroll wheel. Don't scroll wheel to get out of the bus because that might fuck over your
Don't do
game.
that. Yeah,
Starting
do
with
get out.
the jetpacks in season 4.
That was weird.
What's wrong with that?
Do you guys? What do you mean? What was wrong with that?
That was fun. Like before, there was just
Jetpacks.
fun.
It was
That was hella
no.
fun.
That was not okay.
They were fun in post, but
That was one of the worst things. That was one of the worst things they've ever done to the game. Ever put jetpacks in the game.
that's the one.
You guys not remember?
Are you serious?
Do you not remember?
Yeah,
are you?
I'm
Like,
sorry,
who cares about
but those jetpacks had
in
such a
season 4?
negative impact on our summer skirmishes, dude.
I hated, dude. I was a pub star from like season
So was
2
I.
until like season 6. I didn't start scrimming until like season 6, and jetpacks ruined. Jetpacks was
Okay.
like the first taste of
All
what
right,
was to
Bumpaah,
come.
shut up.
I'm
and
sorry.
Let's get a
I'm
caller.
sorry. I can't think.
Hey, what's your name and welcome to the show.
My name's Ben. How you guys doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. I forgot to ask where you're calling from, but you don't have to share that if you don't want to.
Illinois. No worries.
You've never given anybody else that option ever.
I just, it's like after the fact, I kind of like, I don't know. Anyway, from Illinois, welcome. What do you want to talk about?
So my take is that, and looking mostly at EU and NA East for this one, whoever wins grand finals this weekend, it'll be from a POI that's not a mythic POI, landmark, or another just normal POI.
We're jumping right into it. We're jumping right into this this conversation here.
so.
Why? Tell us why. Why do you think so?
So like I saw that tweet that broke down like the wins by POI for EU and NA East, and the only week for for NA East at least that had was at a mythic POI for the winner was the Shark, and that was kind of the week 1 where the whole cheating thing was an issue. Other than that, it's just been normal POIs and even a landmark for 1 week. So I think, except for Grotto, I mean, obviously I think that's the most overpowered one right now for sure. But I think also when you get in the grand finals,
Wait. So no one's gonna win out of a mythic POI except for maybe the people,
Except
the
for
most
Grotto.
well-known people
No,
going to the most well-known
Like,
POI.
what?
No, not even Grotto team. Not even Grotto team. I'm just
Okay,
thinking because
okay.
like I've seen it happen where the last place teams, they're looking to like put, maybe not because they're not trying to qualify for grand finals anymore. They won't land on Grotto team, but like I feel like that's the one place people go to try and get a major edge in a game. That and the Shark, obviously.
I think this question's a little bit of a non-starter. I think that's the correct term, right? A non-starter. Where
Tell us
like,
what you mean.
Let me. What I mean is like, I don't know if I'm using this word right, but
That was
just
a
because,
two-word. But yeah, go
all right. Well, I can. All right, never mind. Anyways, but because like I think of it, if they get the Mythic POI uncontested, then of course it's like it boosts your chances of winning the tournament tenfold. It's like any other POI where being uncontested is like the most important part. That's why I say it's a non-starter, because like whether or
But
not
it
it's a
doesn't
Mythic,
matter whether that's true or not. Is that going to happen and affect the question is anybody at the Mythic POI going to win? And
well, if they get uncontested, of course.
well, fuck
Well,
yeah, of
probably.
course. If they get uncontested, they're gonna win. But like, are they gonna get uncontested? That's the whole fucking meat of
Yeah,
the
well, that's going to
question.
depend on heats a lot. Yeah. I mean, Grotto
No,
team
sorry,
Grotto team could win if they only have one other team contesting, because then like they can split the side where like the minigun spawns, and then somebody will split the other side with the like other henchman chest, because like people will split that and rotate out if they get double heavy or something like that. But you know, it's going to depend if anybody's willing to collude a
I
little bit.
think you guys are. I don't know. I think that Arco and Stompy will win EU because I think they've won it. I think that nobody's really gonna contest them, and I don't think that there's like Aerox and Ekov maybe, but Aerox and Ekov aren't playing well this entire time. Like I'm actually thinking about who's playing in what and whatever. They are in separate heats, which is cool, but like I still think that Stompy and Aqua are gonna get it uncontested in the finals. I think you'd be stupid to try anything in the finals. So
Now, what about on
but
NA
in
East,
terms of
though?
NA East,
Yeah.
no, I don't think any Mythic POIs are going to win in NA East because the favorites to me Scented and Edgy and like Bizzle and Cease and Acorn and Jack and like a whole bunch of people are not landing Mythic POIs. And the stat that you gave, Benji, was right. It was right that there wasn't any teams in NA East who were winning besides I think the Shark. I think that's true.
The Shark was week 1, and then week 2, outside of Slurpee, week 3, Misty, and then 4, Holly. So I mean, yeah, there you go.
And like
That's-
Tifu
yeah.
and Scoped in NA East, like if they end up winning Grotto out of their heat and then they get uncontested in the finals, I just don't think that they are a customs team. I don't think that they're
Don't
that
think they'll
yet.
convert. Interesting. Yeah, because I was
Yeah,
going to
no.
say, you're just like, obviously, I think it's the right take, but you're kind of throwing out immediately there. I don't think Chaprav or Chapandav or Tifu or Scoped are going to find success, like out of Grotto or in general. You just think that it's going to be a wash event for them? Do you think they're going to even qualify for grand finals?
Yes, they will both qualify for grand finals because I think Chap and AV are leaving. I think it's more risky for Chap and AV in terms of who's going to qualify for grand finals, but Tifu and Scoped I think are 100% qualifying.
Cool. All right.
Well,
Shai, you got any thoughts on this?
EU will be like Mythic POI wins. NA East, no. Like disagree with what everyone's been saying. And then if I honestly don't think that Chap and AV and Tifu and Scope won't fight in heats. To be honest, I think it'll just be a bait and switch on Twitter, and then they're gonna end up fighting anyways because I don't think either of them care enough to qualify for grand finals. They just want to win that POI. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Thanks so much, Benji from Illinois, for bringing this to us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Peace.
Alrighty.
You have a good night.
You too. Alrighty.
I got nothing. I'm gonna go. I was not ready for this to kick
Alright.
out. You guys,
Okay.
I guess that wasn't up. Jesus.
Okay. All right. I don't know if I've ever hit Bumpaah and Shia with the Hotline Classic.
What's the Hotline Classic?
I feel like Bumpaah's got enough alcohol in him for it to hit like a real slapper.
How have I not had the Hotline Classic after being on the show like 5 times?
Only some people get the Hotline Classic. I only care
Alright,
about the cereal preferences of certain people.
Oh, hit me with it.
Bumpaah, what's your favorite breakfast cereal?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, bro. Come on now.
Oh, we have talked about this.
Yo!
We've definitely talked about this because
Same.
that's a great cereal. Same?
Let's not.
Yeah,
let's not get
same
it
for me.
twisted.
Can you guys
Let's
like
not
do a
get it
high
twisted.
five? Can you guys like do a high five over Cinnamon Toast Crunch real quick?
CTC baby.
gonna-
It's gonna
I'm
be
gonna
really.
go-
I'm gonna pass.
Wow, Shile's
you're
leaving me
just
hanging,
gonna leave
dude.
me hanging. Leaving me hanging.
Bumpaah went for it.
He's leaving me.
What
He's leaving
side?
me
Oh,
hanging.
yeah. Okay.
No.
Oh.
All right, I'll go that side.
I don't
Okay.
understand. Are we still doing it? Hold on.
Yeah, you-
High-fiving on my this side.
Yeah.
What is going on
Come
my
on.
show right now?
All right, 3, 2, 1.
1. Bob.
Wait, what?
I should have passed.
That was terrible.
Fantastic stuff.
I hit my.
That was-
Top,
We got
Oh.
another caller. Stop.
top tier content.
That's good.
Top tier content.
Yo, what's up? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey guys, Cisco calling from Dirty Jersey.
Do you say dirty
Specifically,
Jersey?
specifically the dirty part of Jersey, or just all of Jersey?
Yeah,
and it is
where's
dirty.
the
All of
dirty
Jersey.
part?
Come on, guys.
Oh,
It's the
all
arm
of
for the
Jersey.
US.
I'm not
Okay.
on the East Coast. I don't know about your guys' weird infighting. Like, get over
Jersey
it.
is nasty. It smells.
It's the
That's
armpit of the US. It's like, it smells like
Isn't that
garbage.
Florida?
That's hot.
No, that's
No, that's-
everywhere
That's
in the US. Is
the
also
Florida.
the
Florida's the
US.
gooch of the U.S.
Yikes!
It's
All right,
it's
so
it's
Cisco,
that sweaty underside. You know
Cisco,
what I'm saying?
Cisco, what did you want to talk about?
Oh my god, Bumpaah. All right. Basically, I want to talk about how every single patch the servers get worse, and comp Fortnite is just with all these online tournaments, it's just getting worse because all these NPCs are on the map, and it's definitely affecting the game. And a lot of pros are leaving, and a lot of casual players are leaving. Like I'm annoyed with it.
These are
It's
kind
not
of
really fun.
separate topics, right?
Yeah, I went off because you were like pressuring me in chat. I was like, I'm all right, Tim, I got you.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. So what do you care more about? NPCs in the
I
game,
guess-
server performance.
I think well, server performance I think is the worst for me. Cuz like I'm someone who works 10 hours a day and I pay for my own internet just to get 0 ping, and then I'm dropping frames every single game. I can't even scrim. It's very annoying. And it's just very unenjoyable. So server performance is definitely the worst. And then if you see people
So
with better rig,
what's the sorry, I don't mean to antagonize you. What's the take here? Just server performance bad and I'm upset. That's a fine take, but it's not. It's like a fine opinion to have, but it's not like.
I guess my take is that I don't think that the game is being played from like a depth perspective, and that's why they don't seem to really care about the performance of the game anymore. And like they're not really invested in making the game better. So that's why it's just like,
All
all
right.
right, whatever, keep
Okay.
going and throw your
Yeah,
money at it, and that's it.
yeah. I think that this is exasperated, a lot by the simple fact that all we do, for obvious reasons now, but also prior, are online events, and that certainly doesn't help the situation at all. But I don't think you can necessarily draw the case that Epic doesn't care about server performance, even in light of it being like not particularly great for a while now. I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts on this? It's not Shio, what's up?
I mean, they've said that time and time again in terms of adding new servers and stuff. Like it's not possible; it's under their control. And then in terms of trying to improve servers, they've had like multiple performance tests, et cetera, that we like can't talk about now that they've existed to help out servers. Obviously, they're not fixed yet. It might be harder to get in and crank the old tool wrench on the car because of the situation in everyone's life right now of the pandemic and whatnot. So it's like I think it's being worked on. But like might not see like a direct effect. I don't think they're ignoring it though. It's like the biggest part about one of the biggest parts of their game. So
I think like it's to me it's weird that they're like we still need to provide feedback, and I'm also like it's weird that they're like relying on public to provide feedback as well, because there's very very obvious places to go to get feedback on server performance, and I think that those places are not going to go out of their way to go into the Fortnite status page and go to Trello and be like, here's a clip of like the server lag. I think if you ask them specifically, they'll be like, yeah, here's a clip, 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 like everybody in the comp scene would do that, but they're not going to go to the Trello page and stuff like that, which you saw somebody posting on the Fortnite comp subreddit recently. And I think you kind of have a point. I don't think that the people who play the devs, right? I don't think that the devs can experience it for themselves without relying on some of the tools that they have or the community has, like East Opens and stuff like that. And if they aren't actually good enough to get to a spot where they could test the end game, they will never understand what it's like, what it feels like to be in that end game. Because you can't just watch Tifu stream, you can't just watch Tap and see them complain about lag and realize, oh, I see they're complaining about the lag. Like you can't actually even see it almost. It's a feeling thing for the most part. It's like, oh, wow, my build placed a little slower there, because they can't see them whip around their mouse and stuff like that and realize. So I think you have a good point. I just don't know how they are. I can't understand how they're approaching solving this issue and getting feedback on this issue without just simply relying on the community that gets affected by it.
I don't know. I know that they've asked in like elite scrims for people to like show examples of like there being really bad lag, and I don't know about everybody else, but me personally, I'm way too fucking lazy to clip like a laggy ass end game or like something causing lag and sending it to the devs. Like I'm a piece of shit. I admit it. But I think that all this like something that we should tie this back to is, and this is like the worst part about the lag right now, is that they said that they were going, the only blog post and the only update that we got for months was, hey guys, we're gonna we know that this new engine is causing server performance problems. We know that this isn't acceptable for people who want to play comp right now. So we're gonna postpone comp events until servers are ready and we feel comfortable hosting online tournaments and cash prize competitions. And then we'll start hosting tournaments. And then a week later, they said, "Fuck it. Here's an FNCS. You complained enough." You know, I don't necessarily think Warzone is what caused it. There's a lot of tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists in this community. Same thing happened when Apex dropped, but I don't know. I think that it's disappointing, very much so, that they would just completely throw that statement out the window. And I think that's what this all ties back to. I don't. We'll play through, comp players will play through the bad servers, you know, but it will eventually affect mental health and it will eventually affect community like involvement in the game and how much people enjoy playing the game competitively. And you're seeing that a lot on Twitter right now. So
Yeah.
I would just wish they would have stuck to their word and would have fixed servers at the
Before
very,
having
very
events.
minimum.
Yeah, like you could announce
just feels
that
so
we're going to have a
shallow.
duos FNCS. Say we're going to
Yeah.
fix servers first. Everyone's happy. They get
Yeah,
to practice something
exactly.
knowing an event's coming up. They get to wait and then play in that event once the servers are behaving better. I played the first couple weeks of FNCS. You know, like I'm not great at the video game, but my duo already was like, dude, these end games are so bad. I'm going to start practicing creative on 60 FPS. It's like, that shouldn't be a thing. Like, that shouldn't be a thing at all. And it's maybe not the smartest move, but just like that thought process even has a chance to trigger. Like, that sucks. You know, like, that sucks. But at the end of the day, like, it's not much to be done, right? Like, all we know at this point is that's 100% Bumpaah's fault for not sending to the devs the evidence that they've asked for.
Oh yeah, I'm the reason why the servers are shit. Sorry.
Yeah,
guys.
on the flip side though, I kind of agree with Balla. Like, they shouldn't need that. Like, and also like a clip of you lagging doesn't explain the input lag. Doesn't explain the. I don't know. Shyo, you're gonna say something.
No, I was gonna meme stuff like some dude sitting there with a clip of Bumpaah lagging. Yes, we must VOD review this. We must VOD review this. That'd be so jokes. That and like they're just waiting for one more clip before the works to start, and like Bumpaah's sending but cancels it, and like we're screwed for another 3 months, bro. Yeah, those are my memes.
We must VOD review this. We must VOD review this.
All right, Cisco, thanks so much for bringing this take, man. I hope you have a good evening.
Word. See you guys. Have a good night.
Peace
Okay.
out. Apologies for picking apart Cisco's
He's not
take
gone.
in the beginning.
How do we get him out of here?
No,
I got him.
apologies,
He's not.
Cisco. All right, we got our next caller. Yo, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Glass. I'm from New Hampshire. How's it going, guys?
New Hampshire.
How
I
are
heard
you?
that's where rich people live.
Are you rich, Glass?
No,
You want to send
that's
me some
not how
money?
that works.
Where
Actually,
is that?
that is
Where is New
literally right
Hampshire?
next to
It's
me.
right above Massachusetts.
Yeah.
True.
East, northeast, Shyo.
No
Yep.
clue.
Canada education, am I right, guys? What's your take, Glass?
So my take is 360 movement is a larger advantage than scroll wheel reset is.
Ooh.
Facts.
Oh, Balla. All right, Balla.
Spit it off. Let's hear
You go
it.
first. You go first.
360 movement is more FOV. Just as simple as that, bro. You can literally run in one direction and look completely the other way. That is literally stretched res on crack. It's amazing. Like, amazing. 360 movement
That's
is
actually a
so
great
crazy.
point. That's a great point. That blows my mind. That basically gives them all the advantages of stretch res. But stretch res is too big of an advantage. We can't let people choose to do what? I didn't even put that together. I'm sorry. Continue. My mind's blown over here.
There you go. Nah, scroll wheel reset. Come on, man. If you're good, you're that speed anyways. Like,
Damn.
scroll wheel reset is a non-issue. Like, I don't understand how people are like, scroll wheel reset is so good. Look, one button reset would be fantastic. You guys should have that. Controllers should have that. Like, please give control of that. I don't even care if you fix aim assist. Give control of that. Like, it's fine. Like it's such a non-issue. You can reset and edit so fast, and you can see controller players be fast at it anyways. So like them using that as a thing, like yeah, please have it. I don't care. Scroll reset doesn't matter to me at all. And in fact, I would rather have people like if I was the fastest editor in the game, I would probably not use scroll reset. Why? Because just using my edit key and resetting manually is probably just as fast, and it gives me slightly more control. It's the same reason I recommend single edit binds if you're fast at editing rather than edit on release, right? Because it gives you more control.
Yep.
So
There's a one and done. Yeah.
I'm just really jealous of you. All right, so you know the controller classic, that move where
you edit a window and then sprint sideways.
No. They do a that
like
when
that's
they're retaking
nonsense.
height. Shut the fuck up, Tim.
It is not. I'm not even making fun of you. It is
It's true.
nonsense.
It's true. Yes. No, but
What's
you
the
know
controller
that
classic? What is
you
it?
know that move. This is like the classic controller, like ramping at you, retaking height move, right?
yeah,
So
to the
ramp at
side.
you.
Yeah.
They ramp. They put a cone down, and then they use their joystick to slide left.
Yep.
So like here's a ramp, right? And then they place a cone at the top of the ramp, they slide left, and they perfectly run on it, and then they just do another ramp up. You know what I'm saying? You guys, every single
I
controller
know
player
literally
ever,
exactly what you're talking about.
it's the controller classic. It is. I wish I could do that.
Are you guys
smoothly.
confused? Seriously, Shio?
You guys don't know what I'm talking about? We're like, all right, they're ramping straight, and then they cone the
Yes,
top
I
of
just
their
wanted
ramp.
him to do this.
Yeah.
They're ramping straight. They cone the top of the ramp, and then they slide to the left with their 360.
They place a
movement,
wall
they
out and then place another ramp.
Yeah,
and
they
run-
play. Yeah, so like
That's
ramp,
the controller classic.
That's the controller classic when
The controller
retaking.
classics when I'm
Okay,
just
yeah.
chilling in a box and I get SMG sprayed walking in. Number one.
True.
That's the controller
True.
classic.
They
That's
placed
just
them
that's a shift step. I call that one the shift step. That's just
The sidestep.
no, that's side step shifts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I can't do that on mouse and keyboard though.
you
'Cause,
can't.
Like, no, because I don't have 360 movement. I
True.
go like diagonal in a way, and I hit my cone.
It's harder
That's
to
true,
do without
yeah.
360 movement.
Yeah.
You,
It's
I
if
usually
you-
stop when I move left.
you can see Epic Whale before he switched to controller. He used to do that shit all the time, just like super seamlessly. But I also think he used double movement binds, number one, and also he's just faster than all of us combined. So
Yeah, I'm old, bro. Can't do that shit. Come on now.
Boomers hate
but stuff
this
like
one
that,
trick.
and like endgame movement. Like you see unknown movement.
End game
in an
movement is
endgame,
insane. Yeah, dude.
It's
so
nuts.
slippery. So slippery.
God.
It's nuts. So
It's crazy
yeah.
because it's such a different game. That's what's frustrating, right? Because if you're playing primarily against, what's up, Balla?
I was asking Glass if he was on controller.
Oh, Glass, are you on controller?
No, but I just ordered a controller after I died in my
Let's
last
go.
games today to controller players.
Yeah.
Whoever Mojo on
Yeah.
linear is, I don't like that guy.
Whoever Mojo on linear is.
All right, so I would take this entire topic with a grain of salt because none of us are controller players except for
Hey,
maybe
I'm
Bumpaah.
getting pretty cracked on controller. No cap.
This guy still can't even 90, so
I still-
I get
I
90. What are you talking about?
he did a 90. Wow.
I'm getting
Well,
goated on the
I
pig.
played on both actually, but currently I'm on a keyboard and mouse. But what I will say is, after my 3 months of box fighting with no tournament, I noticed that controller players would, when I had the peanut butter edit, they would run across, and then they would just jump in. I thought it was just
Mhm.
controller players being controller players, but they can actually see me in that little corner and know exactly where I am and have a shot off right when
Yeah.
I see them too.
My favorite thing to do on controller is when somebody peanut butters. So like, you know how they peanut butter, they do on their right side, so it's your left.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
hug. What you do is when they peanut butter, you hug into the right wall, and then as soon as they do the peanut butter, their wall's weak because they edited it. You just tack through it one time, and then you SMG spray them to death. That's my favorite move.
That's sick.
Little trick for all you controller scrimmers out there looking to aimbot some poor keyboard and mouse loser.
Little
Okay.
bump of tip for you there. I was gonna
Imagine
say
not
that it's
having
frustrating.
aimbot in 2020. Come on now, people.
Imagine. I was gonna say
Really?
it's super frustrating to me how it forces you to play this like different game where like usually at a competitive level for a game you have a good understanding of what can happen in any given situation, right? And that including like things like movement, right? You have a good idea of like the 8 directions on the axis someone can move on a keyboard, right? They've got 8 directions. That's it. And half those directions are slowly backpedaling, right? And then the second you introduce controller players, now you have to guess Like either this person is screwed in this situation, right? Like I've got a peanut butter, they're hugging the wall, like I win, I got this situation. Or they're a controller player and they can literally sprint jump sideways out at me and have totally erratic movement, and it's just very different. It's just very different. Something Balla's talked about before. It's just kind of like it's like a different game. They're playing it a slightly different game. Okay. Anyway, Glass, I'm sure, but Bumpaah will have plenty to say about controller as the show continues.
Yes, sir.
So
All right, thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, man. Thanks for hopping
Peace,
on.
bro.
I hope you have a fantastic
Yeah,
evening.
no worries. You too.
Peace.
Next
Yo.
in.
Hello.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Ahmed and I'm coming from Toronto, Canada.
Let's
From
go.
Canada.
Let's go.
Hell yeah. What do you want to talk about tonight, Ahmed?
All right, so the other day I was watching Balla's on Levin 2K stream. He was ranting about the Rip Fortnite thing on Twitter, and it wasn't really good for competitive. And I just wanted to ask, like, what do you guys think is really good for competitive going on forward? And like, what do we need to do as a community to get Fortnite devs or to get competitive serious in the eyes of the Fortnite devs?
Ooh, that's an interesting slant to the question thrown in there, because I don't know. From my point of view, like it already should be like important, but like I don't know if there's anything that we can do to make it more important to devs other than just make it more popular.
Well, is it specifically like do something about Epic not doing anything about comp? Is that like what you're trying to get at? Like, is there a way for the community to do something like Rip Fortnite that would get the devs to pay attention? Is that what you're asking?
No, I was just thinking like how you were. I think it was Levin. He was saying how like we. Hold on, let me mute the stream. Sorry, I was saying like Levin was saying that what's it called? East Open made an EU branch, and none of the players took the practice seriously.
Okay.
And they were saying how
So
like comp.
you're asking like what do we do as a community to make comp a thing, like to make comp better, to make comp a thing, and just in general, like because that was my POV. Was like I said, like if you guys want comp to be good, stop trashing it. If you guys want tournaments, then make your own tournaments. If you guys want broadcasts, then make your own broadcasts and support broadcasts, like all that stuff. And Levin went on and said like nobody is doing anything, even from a community level. So that's what you're getting at, right?
Yep.
Cool. All right. Thoughts, guys. So we're talking about Rip Fortnite, the hashtag, and also like what can we do as a community, basically, like end it there.
So for the Rip Fortnite thing, I feel like that's just a build up, and that will always happen after season 10. In season 10, that one blog post where it was like, screw you, the mechs are fine, screwed it for the general community. You cannot expect people after that to hold up to a good standard, in my opinion.
There's no
after
respect.
that moment, it was like, okay, like they hear us and they said no. It's fine if they hear us and they say nothing, but hearing and saying no to a item like that, to something like that, is just like, I understand why Rip Fortnite happens. I think that's where it stems from. Now, for the in-game change, I think that we need more customization before that can truly hold true, because I would 100% love to see a trios event community run, but there's no opportunity for that to happen. I would love to see us have the opportunity to, you know, buff an AR spawn rate, change the way chests are around the map and what comes out of them in general, you know, have our own loot pools and give us some more freedom as to what to do customization wise. Third-party events, I think, would thrive after that. But the fact that we're always locked in and switching up, and there's a dope third-party event, Ball's gonna fly out, I'm gonna be there, it's Toronto casted, boom, there's an FNCS that pops up, right? Like it hurts. And then the next time, there's less likely there's a less likely chance for that event to happen. So more freedom, more knowledge, and more customization is basically what we need. And in terms of Fortnite, I don't think we're ever gonna go back.
I think that's a really big point. Like Modern Warfare, competitive Modern Warfare sucked. I'm not talking 2019 Modern Warfare, right? Like it sucked. It's just a garbage game. Noob tubes everywhere. You needed pro mod for that competitive scene to take off. We don't have
COD 4.
COD 4, sorry. We don't have the ability to create a pro mod. We just don't have like the tools available to do anything like that, right? Restrict what is and isn't available out of chests. Restrict, you know, like this kind of stuff, right? Like remove AI from a match, that kind of thing. And it's rough because while there are things I feel the community can do, Balla, to your credit, to continue to try and push forward, there are things that we're 100% going to be reliant on the devs for the foreseeable future. Things like making the game balanced, making the game perform well. Like we're completely reliant on the devs for those things. And I think that those issues are more what drives a negative sentiment than like they don't take care of the competitive scene from this like competitive viewpoint. It's more just like competitive is hard no matter how you slice it because of all these bad stuff in the game. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't really have any freedom as a community. We don't have. Balla's been begging for a long time for more custom tools to like be able to restrict who gets the key, who can get leaked. Like that plagues third-party tournaments. The amount of like pros on alt accounts trolling and teaming is fucking ridiculous. Like the maturity level of the community needs to like grow up a lot, and that it reflects on Twitter and it reflects on like East Open scrims, like we talked about earlier. Like we like even though the players in East Open are dog shit, we can't get people to respect like practice in general even enough that we have to run like serious zone rules. And even when we run zone rules, like people still kill each other before zone rules. Like the maturity level of the community is very, very low. Can we, and god damn, dude, can we please stop fucking impression farming on Twitter with fake tweets? Like every single update, combat shotgun got added back, guys. Like
Who was that? Wasn't that wait?
It drives me crazy, bro. Like I just want to know.
I know who that
I just
was.
want to know what the fuck is going on with the game without having to like. If I see something on Twitter, I have to always take it with a grain of salt before I see like Epic talk about it.
Infamous
it's
in chat.
Unbelievable.
Infamous in chat brings up a good point though. Like, yeah, it'd be nice. Like, you just don't follow those people, right? You block them on Twitter, whatever. The way you solve that from ever being an issue is you release patch notes. And then everybody knows if I want to know if something's in the game or not, I just go look at the patch notes.
But I don't. And this goes back to the original question, like what can we do as a community to make Epic care about us more? And I just don't think there's anything that we can do. If I feel really, this is the most like helpless I've felt about the game in a while. I don't think that there's anything that we can do to make Epic care. They're not releasing patch notes. They don't want to give us any custom options. They don't give a fuck about our third-party tournaments. The most Epic's willing to do is say, hey, we'll throw a bunch of cash at you, or not even a bunch. We'll throw a bit of cash at you every single season for an FNCS and some cash cups, and that's all you get.
So pessimistic. I get why you guys feel this way. I really do. And coming from me, that should mean a lot because I fucking tried. Like I try and I'm still trying and I'm still trying. But here's my take, right? And why I get so upset. Like especially about Rip Fortnite, about people saying hashtag Rip Fortnite.
I just want to say that I think that hashtag was stupid before you go
yes.
on. I don't like the hashtag.
Agreed. I think we all agree on that, right? Like that's such a stupid hashtag. Like, and specifically because it's people who want the game to die. It's people like they're all hopping on. They're like, yeah, Rip Fortnite, like woohoo, you guys suck, like all that shit. It's just like it's a stab at my back, basically. It's a knife in my back. Like, guys, we're still trying here. And here's the thing, right? If you believe that Fortnite has the potential to be one of the best esports, then there's still ways to make it that way. And we can try to rely on Epic, but it's been proven that Epic is not going to necessarily do anything about the things that we want right now. Okay. And so my point when I say, guys, we as a community need to step up and do something is Elite Cup, for example, had 150,000 viewers. That's a lot of viewers. That is something that Epic wants. Okay, so we need to run tournaments and we need to support tournaments when they happen. The Game Arena tournament in EU this weekend had barely any broadcasts going on because the community didn't step up and do a broadcast, myself included. I was like, no, I can't. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, I can't. But like, when people do those broadcasts, when Clay does those broadcasts, when Ozzy does those broadcasts, nobody gives a like. They're like, yeah, Clay, and then they disappear for 6 months, and nobody supports like anything, right? They don't actually like. You need to support these things because guess what? A year down the line, 6 months down the line, if you guys still want this, and maybe you don't anymore, but a year or 6 months down the line, Epic is going to see this and be like, wow, like this is actually a thing. Like we need to be supporting this more because this is where our game is. Right? Eventually, the player base will be so interested in competitive, especially if they keep cranking these cash cups to make people play. Like that is literally, if we support and drive everything outside of the community so high and get excited for it and post on Reddit about it, Epic will see eventually. They have to. They will see that I'm running broadcasts and they'll be like, wow, broadcasts are good. Let's do those. Let's do those things. They will. Like, that's, if they don't, then sure, the game dies. Okay, whatever, we move on. They haven't, but if you still believe, that's my point. Like, if you still believe, like, freaking try. Like, try. Like, why are we doing this? Like, please, if you still care, then stop rip Fortniting and go try. Like, please, guys, support the broadcast, support the community. Write up bug reports, Bumpaah, submit shit to fucking Epic. Like, come on.
I think the counter argument here is that, like,
well, I mean, like,
do it.
I'm checking out, bro.
Yeah, half the community is so burnt out on what the actual how the game plays moment to moment. Like, the competitive scene be damned, how the actual game plays in those settings moment to moment is so incredibly frustrating, so incredibly,
and we're still here.
Consistency is hurt.
Well,
We're
until
still here.
until FNCS is over, we're here.
I guess we'll see, right? Like, that's the hard position. That's the hard position. That's why it's so easy to be negative, because whatever tournaments you put on, the game that you're playing is still the same. If that frustrates you, then like that's not changing, right? No matter what the community does.
Performance be damned. We've seen that it can be good. We have had chapter 1 or chapter 2 season 1 be so good.
Yeah,
in performance.
It was great.
Okay, so we can get back there. Like, yeah, this sucks right now, but they've shown that they care about it.
I don't want to go through the bipolar fucking roller coaster every other season of, oh, the game's decent right now. Oh, the game fucking makes me hate it.
That's the disconnect. That's the disconnect, right? Like, Balla's message is for those who love Fortnite so much that they're willing to stick through the shitty seasons and the shitty performance because they like Fortnite and they want competitive Fortnite to live. Then you have to do what Balla's saying to do.
I've done it for fucking 11 seasons, bro.
That's what I'm saying. There's the disconnect. There's the disconnect, right? Like, a lot of people aren't happy, right? They're not satisfied. They don't care if the community can keep Fortnite competitive alive because they're so dissatisfied with the game. I think that's fine. Like, that's just gonna happen, you know?
Yes.
The cry is don't say
like,
burn it down on the way out. Yeah, fuck all this shit. Like, let's
I don't want to burn it down. I still like. All right.
I'm not saying you do. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth.
And I still plan to continue to come back and play this game competitively. But when we have a season like this where it's clear that they don't care, I'm not gonna put in the same amount of care and love into it. You know, like,
that's fine.
I'm ready. Yeah, exactly. Like, last season was so good to me. Last season was so much fun to me. I loved playing last season competitively. I love learning new stuff. I don't know. I just loved the meta last season. I loved how they approached the game. Sure, the communication could have been better. You know, we talked about the squads thing, but like, overall, last season as a whole was really good for comp. And just to fucking pull the rug out from underneath us and fucking drop us on our asses with this new season in comparison, it's whiplash and it's really annoying. And like, it's drawn me back for my care about the game this season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. That's the rub. You know what I mean? If you still want competitive Fortnite to exist and be a thing, you have to engage in the ways Balla is describing. If you don't care, move on. But move on. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to involve this rip Fortnite mentality. Like, I get it. It's from a place of trying to shock and awe the devs into action. But that hasn't worked, right? Like, the last time, the most successful campaign we ever had, #RemoveTheMech, accomplished nothing.
We got a big FU.
Yeah, nobody cares if I quit the fucking game. Let's be honest here. But, you know, like, I don't know. I care because
we all do. We 100% do.
I have passion and drive for the game, but like, this season's just really sort of taking the wind out of my sails.
And it's not just the one season.
Explore other opportunities, you know.
Same.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the most frustrated I've ever been.
Yeah.
I'm on the verge, man. Like, but we're still here, you know. So like, if we're still here and we still care, like, let's put some effort into it, you know. And to people saying like, what other game has ever done that? Like, please, come on. This is what esports is built on. Like, this is 100% what esports is built on. No, the games. The reason why we even have Fortnite comp is because of games that have gone through this already. Counter-Strike? Are you kidding me? You thought Valve cared about Counter-Strike and Dota? Like, Blizzard didn't care about Dota like at all. They let it go. They let Riot make a new game that's called League of Legends. That's why that's there.
Blizzard didn't have.
Blizzard made it was a mod in Blizzard. They
didn't have the rights though to stop Riot. Like it was an awkward little position.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying
Oh,
like they
okay,
didn't
okay.
care enough to make it an East, like to do
To
anything
take it and
good
run with
about it
it.
or make
Mhm.
Dota 2 until League of Legends became a thing. Exactly.
I
Like
think
this is how esports
that was
started.
Valve in the end.
StarCraft is the same way. Fighting games are still that way. And
Yeah.
like Super Smash Brothers, Nintendo is worse than Epic. Way worse. And guess what? Super Smash Brothers is one of the best esports ever because it's so passionate. And if that's where Fortnite's going, and it's only passionate people that stay, like, okay, cool, like that's great. You know, I'm like, okay, but please don't try to tear the effort of people down.
I
Yeah,
will
I think
say
it's gonna be hard to. I think it's gonna be really hard to get that passionate player base who sticks around for a while after how much money they've pumped into the game initially. You know, like Super Smash Bros. Had to work their way up from scratch to make those prize pools and to make that competitive scene so tight knit. Meanwhile, Epic dumped a shitload of
Yes.
money into the game at the start, and now we have to like fucking go through the ghost town and just be like, all right, who do we have left that still cares? You know, like
Yeah.
it's gonna be way harder.
yeah,
What were you
I
saying,
think
Tim? Or
I was
rudely
gonna
cut you
say
off?
I was just gonna say that no, you're good. I mean that's the format. There's 4 of us online. That's hard. Yeah, I was just gonna say that it's kind of non sequitur, but it's a little bit related. The thing is that these issues they create an ecosystem where the middle class competitive player, right, the ones that would be considered like maybe even necessarily under Challenger League, like if you're thinking of like League of Legends, like under like the collegiate level kind of like stuff, right? You know what I mean? People who are trying to become good enough, but they're not making money consistently, right? As every time Epic doesn't fix something, the skill ceiling increases, right? Now you have to know that don't touch a boat on your last game because it might kill you. Now you have to know, like, don't step in the right strong spot on Grotto or it might kill you, right? These sorts of things, right? Careful, your launch pad might fall under the ground when you open the vault. Like, this kind of stuff, right? Like, and
Is that
they
skill
do
level
add-
or is that just bullshit?
that raises the skill ceiling in the form of, like, that's just knowledge you have to know. You have to know it, right? Like, but my point is that, like, this middle class of players, like, they're the ones who are going to feel this the worst, right? Casual players or players who enjoy competitive but don't have, like, success in their eyes, right? They don't got those stars in their eyes. They don't care. Like, they're still not winning, right? The people who are making money are still making money, right? Especially because cash cups are so restrictive in who they pay out to. FNCS rewards weird things in weird ways through its formatting, right? That my worry is that what we're going to see continue to go forward is this sort of like middle class competitive player being the ones who really feel the negative brunt, where it becomes like my effort doesn't feel like it ever pays off, right? That's the big one. That's the big one. My effort doesn't feel like it pays off, so why should I continue to push through like something I don't enjoy, right? When it comes to that point, those are the players you lose most, not players who are earning money and not players who are just having fun, right? You lose that middle class, and that sucks, right? Like, that sucks. That's where I've sat in Fortnite from a skill perspective for a long time. Like, I try to get better. I play really hard. I like to think I'm pretty good. I'm better than, like, most people who play Fortnite, right? But, like, you know, only so many times airplane can crash into you and kill you while shooting a machine gun at you. Or you're like, you know what? Like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get to the point through all of this. Like, man, you want me to get better and have the mental to, like, go through that? Those are the players that are really feeling this the worst, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what shows on Twitter, because that's who's vocal on Twitter, right? Like, that's the vocal community beyond the big names.
I think we gain those guys back though. Like, I think you gain.
I think you can.
lose them.
I think you can.
And if you build something that's good enough, eventually they come back. You know, not necessarily those same people, but we get new ones, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Counter-Strike, even CS:GO went into a huge dip. Like, after launch, it was like huge dip. But guess what? They've built that back up to.
Well, the game was really, really bad after launch. Like, it didn't get good until around the time. Yeah.
And,
all right.
and
Yeah.
so
Yeah, exactly. Fortnite's really, really bad right now. Yeah. I got it.
that's what I'm saying, like.
Yeah.
Someone
we'll
in
get
chat-
new players eventually.
I'm ready to move on to another caller here. So thank you very much for bringing this topic. I hope you have a fantastic evening.
You too, guys. See you.
Peace
Have a
out.
good one.
See ya.
Someone in chat keeps asking, they keep saying, are you going to talk about Nate and Answer? You're talking about Nate and Answer. The thing is that people are making speculations from LinkedIn profiles, which are personally, it's like a Facebook page, man, for, like, professionals, right? Like, it didn't mean anything at first, and now that it's been changed back,
It's a public Facebook profile page that has like your titles and stuff. Like, yeah, I
yeah,
get that,
but
but
it doesn't mean
for
anything.
for somebody who's a public figure, and to be clear, Nathan Answer has put back competitive director on
Yeah,
his.
that's why it's not worth really talking about, in my opinion. It's like
Oh,
it's nothing.
after the
It's a
whole,
nothing
like,
burger.
freak out on Twitter, everybody he put it back in.
Yeah, it's back there
So,
right now.
Yeah.
Like my thought is, yeah, I don't know. Like, there's nothing you can draw from that. That's
Yeah, I
enough.
never looked into it too much. Like, it's whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that something like that just scares people when we're in a state like this and they see
Yeah,
that the
100%.
competitive director removed competitive from his role and he's now a new role. Like, that just scares the crap out of people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand why the community reacted the way that they did, and that's that basically.
Yep. Okay. We ready for another caller, Balla?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Yo, what's your name? Where are you
Hello.
calling from?
Yo.
Jack, I'm calling from Jersey.
What's up, Jack?
Oh,
More
another
Jersey
dirty
boys.
Jersey.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Do you believe in dirty
Interesting.
Jersey?
Yeah, you a dirty Jersey guy.
I don't know if I'm old enough to believe in that. I don't know.
What do you mean? Your nose has age limits on it? What the hell? I thought it was a smell thing. Talking about something else here that I
We
don't
don't
know
need to dig into it. We don't need to dig into it.
There's
Yo,
another-
Jack
another
from
thing,
Jersey,
another-
what did you want to talk about?
I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go.
But so my topic that I brought up was that many mouse and keyboard competitors, they're switching to Valorant right now because of like the lack of communication, and it's just gonna leave so many people on controller, and it's gonna be so boring seeing people just like spraying at each other and getting triple dinked that people are just gonna have enough of that and watching that and transfer over to Valorant. And Fortnite will start to lose its viewership if they don't start to talk to the community and stuff like that. So if you guys have your opinions on that, that'd be great.
Let me take you down a little bit of a story way, all right? So
Let's hear
there's
it.
first of all like 20 or 50 people on Twitter that are switching over that you see, and it's a minority of a minority of a minority of a minority. Now,
Yeah.
Jack and Jim were playing the duo FNCS, who suck at it, never place, communication's bad, blame the game. Oh man, I'm gonna go play Valorant, even though my Fortnite's my first game ever. This is the most common thing. Get into a Valorant match, try it for 2 days, and get jack shit out of it, and are garbage. Will find themselves back in Fortnite in 2 weeks maximum.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone switching from Fortnite to Valorant. I think those are two games on their separate paths. The people who have been quitting have not played the game seriously for like 3 months. In viewership, they're separate as well. Like when Valorant was with their drops enabled at 1.7 million viewers, Fortnite was still at its same viewers that it was, even with a few big content creators out that it normally is during that day and time. Like two separate viewer bases. The people who are flip-flopping back forth play different games entirely. And there's like a very niche, maybe 1,000 people that might jump ship, but like they've already have. So I don't think anyone's raging off a cash cup and launching Valorant.
I did that
plays Fortnite
today.
regularly.
Yeah.
I mean,
I did that today. What are you talking about? I fucking quit that cash
I
up.
think
was
it was a
using it
lot.
now.
Zay did it. Like a bunch
Yeah,
of people literally
bro.
tweeted that
Alright,
they did.
I don't think Valorant is like the
Valorant's not a
issue
Fortnite killer.
with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Valorant's like the issue with this topic that we're talking about. I think that you are 100% correct though. If aim assist is not changed in a year's time, controller will be the dominant input. Like we're just headed for that trajectory.
Mhm.
Like at this pace, mouse and keyboard will be a very, very rare breed. And at the very, very least, you'll have one mouse and keyboard player who tunnels, and then his teammate will always be a controller player. You know,
Yeah.
but controller will dominate like solo cash
know,
cups, yada yada yada. But like it will be necessary if you were playing anything other than solos to have at least one controller player on your team. Controller is just going to take over at this point. And Valorant has nothing to do with that. Like, sure, there are going to be like quote unquote washed pros, and I know we like to throw that around a lot, but like a lot of guys who aren't washed have been quitting, you know, like Spades was still really good. Psalm still really good. Obviously, like they've been on a decline a little bit because their passion lost for the game. Like that's how you become washed at Fortnite. You lose the passion for it and you stop playing. But yeah, no, like obviously a bunch of those guys are going to quit, but yeah, Valorant doesn't really crisscross with Fortnite in any way that it will take its player base. Like mouse and keyboard players aren't just going to leave for Valorant. Like they'll leave for a bunch of other stuff, or they'll like just completely put down the game completely. But yes, controller will indeed, if not changed or like altered in any way, will take over Fortnite in a year's time.
Yeah, I
to
think
add on to this, if you watch so I was watching Cooler Aqua today. He dropped his first Fortnite highlight video. If you watch him, if you watch Mitro, if you watch Zate, if you watch Saf, if you watch one of their highlight videos, one thing that you will notice across the board on all of them is just how fucking good their pump shot is and how good their crosshair placement is. Like the thing that puts mouse and keyboard players at the very, very top of the game is their aim. Okay. And top tier mouse and keyboard aimers will be at the top of Fortnite, but that is why controller will take over, because you don't have to have that top tier aim as a precursor. You can just have your top tier mechanics and let your aim assist do the rest of the work.
Yeah, I think, sorry. I'm going to slightly latch on to the last half of the take here. Balla, Shyowager, do you guys have anything else on this part?
I think it's like in regards to controller taking over, and also just like some of the stuff that you said about Valorant's like viewership. Like one of the reasons the majority of Fortnite viewership is people who are on console and controller, even if they're watching comp. So like, yeah, it makes sense that that's not getting touched, because Valorant you can't play on control. I mean, you can play on controller, but you can't play on console. Like there's a whole a bunch of reasons about that, and I predicted that this whole thing would be a thing. The majority of Fortnite players are on controller, one variation or another, right? Maybe the majority of comp players aren't necessarily on controller, because right now, obviously, you have to be on PC to have a good experience playing comp. But I'd say that eventually the people who are interested in comp, because that's where people will tend to eventually, it's going to be controllers, just like the sheer population of people. So yeah, I think they're going to come over. And in terms of aim assist being an issue, yeah, that's definitely a reason. But I also think just in general, like controller players are going to be getting better and better and better just by the sheer number of them, by the sheer volume of them that are coming in.
I think that what's interesting is that there are two really, really, really easy ways to just like fix all these problems, right? Like one is split all competition on input, right? Like you've got super declined console player base in FNCS, and this isn't out of my butt, like that's stats, right? From like one up analytics. And the only real working theory is because they can't get arena versus PC players. You know what I mean? Because it's still fully cross-platform there. And that would be an easy fix. It makes a lot of people happy. The second part is if controller takes over, that's great for competitive Fortnite. From my standpoint, is it looks like Call of Duty does now, where they say, sorry, like controller is competitive Fortnite. Controller on PS4 is competitive Call of Duty, right? Like that's what it is. I'm sorry. Like that's what we're doing. Only controllers. Then it's fine. Nobody cares. It's done. The conversation's over. It's like, okay, like, all right. Like props, like you win. Cool. If we want to keep playing competitive, we switch to controllers, right? And that's how it is. I don't have a problem with that either, honestly. Like I wouldn't play because I don't like playing on a controller. Like I just don't. It's just not fun to me. But like that fixes the issue of competitive Fortnite, and they don't even lose that much, right? Like they lose Tfue. Like, is that losing that much? Like I don't know. Like, damn, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts before we send this?
It's OP. Like
I think-
I'm so, like controller is like, dude, I'm sorry. Like I'm on controller. Like I can even admit this. This is so bad having like I legit have. I feel kind of bad because, like, if you look at Wolfie's, wasn't his sub emote just like triple dink, triple dink? It's like a triple headshot. It's like that's the iconic controller player move, and it's also like controller players have been placing so much better in cash cups now, because like the aim assist, like I feel like the legacy like nerf kind of actually like helped controller players. I don't know.
It completely changed the play style of them at the very least. At least, like, so when Legacy was a thing in Chapter 2, Season 1, like, sure, you would get lasered down to 1 HP by a legacy player from a long way away, but it would take an hour for him to catch up to you to actually W key him, right? Or for him to actually W key you because there's no mobility. But now, like with linear and exponential being the only two aim assist types in the game, the standard cut and dry like way that you play on controller is hop in your box and fucking SMG spray him to death or tack him to death or something like that. So like it's increased the pace of the game by a lot, especially with mobility as well, because they can hit a beam from long distance or medium range, launch pad on you, do whatever they need to do to get to you, and then just hop in your box and finish the fight instantly. You know?
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much for this take. Really appreciate it, man. I hope you have a fantastic evening.
Thank you. Yep, you too. Thank
Peace out.
Peace.
Alrighty.
Boom.
We are closing topic submissions for the evening. We've got quite a few people left to roll through and only like 20 minutes and change to roll through them. So that's that.
Extension.
so much.
Super
Speedrunning
long.
this bitch. We're
Featured
speedrunning.
episode.
Extension.
2 hours.
Yo,
Let's
if
go.
I make
boy.
Balla stay up even later, he's not gonna be happy with me. That's
He'll get over it.
That's on
Finding, bro.
baby.
Balla, grow up. Grow up.
We have broadcast tomorrow. I need my beauty sleep. Okay.
Grow up. That's all I have to say.
All right. Hello, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Isaac, and I am calling from Florida.
Florida.
Console
Big
scrimmer.
fan. Big fan.
All right, so FNCS is split between console and PC, and many PC controller pros feel the need to come back since easier competition with the same prize pool. Do you guys think that PC controller pros should be able to come back and take the money from native console players?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. 100% yes.
But let me hold up real quick, Isaac, because you're a person that has a very high chance of being an FNCS champion at the end of the season, right? So I'm confused as to why you're asking this question, because I think this is not good confidence, brother. I don't think this is good confidence.
Well, it's not really that I'm scared of them. Yeah, they have the
Okay.
advantage because they have this IQ from stacked endgames on PC, and us
Okay.
console players don't have that. But it's just that, say, a PC pro that came back wins this FNCS, it's like they won the console FNCS and they're not even a native console player. So it kind of just takes away from that
I mean,
satisfaction
who
of a
cares?
console player winning.
They came from console in the first place, you know, like every single control. It's not like a controller player on PC has been playing PC on or controller on PC since he ever first started gaming, you know, like anybody who's ever picked up a controller has started on a console at some point. The question that we should be asking is, does console deserve the same prize pool as PC?
Well, we've
And
already talked
they
about
all right,
good things
all right. I
and
just
bad
want to say it real quick. They fucking don't. Okay, that's all I want to say. They fucking don't. They deserve a tenth of what PC.
They
has.
do. They
Okay,
do
but
if the future of
that's
competitive
beside the
Fortnite is
point.
controller only.
That's beside the point. That's beside the point. But okay, but here's the thing though, Isaac. Okay, if you guys get the same money as PC, even if like they're not native console players, you guys deserve the highest level of competition possible if you're going to get that amount of money, okay? And if that means that a bunch of quote unquote washed PC controller pros come back to console for easy money,
That's
then so
interesting
fucking
take.
be it, because it's going to be better competition than what the regular console kids would provide anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna have $44,000 as first place for NA East to be playing on a goddamn potato, then the best of the best should be fucking hopping on that potato to compete against you. You know, you should have to earn that $44,000. You shouldn't get gifted to it just because you're the best player on a dog shit system. No offense.
Jesus.
I had to say it.
No offense.
No offense.
Okay.
I'm very
Shia?
passionate about this.
I mean, yeah, what Bumpaah said. I mean, is there anything else to say? Like, it makes sense.
Aren't you're but Shy, you're the devil's advocate that always is like, yeah, console's future, we should all go to console. And
They deserve a prize pool, but they don't deserve the same
Dude,
prize.
it's like I just it's getting so much harder to play devil's advocate because like the changes we're getting are the devil's advocate changes. Like when the prize pool was console
Good
and
point.
PC, like we're talking about the prize pool again. Like it's like what like I have to just be on like the the sane side. Like what Bumpaah's saying, making sense. Like if you are getting pissed off that there's other people coming, it's kind of like that whole conversation all the way back when Prac was taking people from like lesser leagues into higher leagues. Like people from the lesser leagues, and this happens in other games as well, we're saying that the people from Prac should not be allowed to play in our leagues when we're trying to qualify. It's like, if you guys can't play against the best, do you deserve what the best have to offer? And that's literally what it is. You know, same prize pool, deserve the consequences. Now, if the prize pool was different, then obviously there would be restrictions, because then you guys would be on a different, you know, level field. You guys would be on a different playing field. But the fact that the work you're putting in and the work that PC players are putting in is getting the same reward, then, you know, no holds barred. Anyone should be able to hop from both sides. They're going to be playing on the same, you know, sticks, the same rules, the same FPS. So it's like fair game.
Yeah, I mean, like this harkens back to the same issue of like these events. Like you said, like the devil's advocate changes have been made. These events aren't here to see who's the best at Fortnite, right? Like these events are barely even here to see who's the best at Fortnite, you know, on a given platform in a given region. Do you like? Have you played a Cash Cup in a while? Like, do you think that that's indicative of the best players? Have you played the FNCS? Do you really think that's indicative of the best players?
Yes. In terms of the different formats that are tested every weekend, yes, because it's the people who are the best at W King against dog players and then holding their ground. It's the people that are capable of W King against players who are kind of competent and then catching up if they're behind. And then it's people who can play customs. And if you can do all those three consistently and competitively all the way to the very end in your platform, your region, you deserve it. It's the best format.
But you don't need to play. You don't need to play customs consistently all the way to the very end to win the grand finals.
If the grand finals winner has never played. If the grand finals winners never played a scrim or something, or is like some dog meat player, I was almost going to name someone, but I'm not going to name.
Sorry, I mean to get to grand finals through the weekends,
through heats, dude. To like
no, through the qualifiers that we've played out. Like I don't think that those.
Man. You have to.
I'm not arguing that's not difficult, but I don't think it's this like this is truly like the best skill Fortnite has to offer, and it's because of this gauntlet
because the top players, like we talk about sometimes when it helps us, right? I'm going to use it when it helps me as well. People that are playing Fortnite are millions and millions of people. These are the top 120. And to say that, because 120
kinda, it's the top 120. It's the top 120 out of people who dropped out and switched accounts so they could still qualify partway through. It's people who like
there's like two off instances of that. It's like the last point we were talking about where people were like, oh, if Sam is switching to Valorant, then all his viewers will come too. Like it's one-off people that don't have that much of an impact.
It's not one-off. If we're catching one or two big streamers doing it, you can bet tons of money that everyone else is doing it.
He doesn't do that in FNC. You're not allowed to
do that in FNCS, guys.
Yeah, you can. Why can't you do it in FNCS?
No, you can't. It has its own
semis. You can't do that once you qualify for semis. You can't go back and play on another account. Like
because all you need is a pop-off account. All you need is a pop-off weekend, right? And you're in. Like.
Yeah, and that's fine. I think that's allowed because after that, it's the true test of heats and grand finals. But like to even pop off on that weekend takes a lot of work and a lot of even manipulating luck if you have it. If you have those half zones,
sure.
You just have to play those insane games. Every game we've casted in semifinals has been like a 30-20 man end game this season. It's been absolutely insane. It's been the hardest it's been, man. Out of all the other 9th zones I've ever seen in my life, this season has had the hardest. Maybe squads and the dynamics might have been more difficult, but duos this season has been insane. And then like past that, Cash Cups are the only place we're going to have that wonky stuff happen. I do not consider Cash Cups events because it's not the different types of people playing them, the player count size, the one-off instance of pop-offs. Like the way you're talking, it feels like it's feelings towards Cash Cups. But for FNCS, I feel like we're good right now. The point system needs to be changed, but the qualifier system tests every aspect of a competitor's like grit and drive.
You're right. It's weird because it's not who's the best at competitive Fortnite as defined by like when I think competitive Fortnite, I think just of what we're going into this weekend, right? Like that's competitive Fortnite to me. To me, going from top, down to top 50 duos from top 1,000, like that's not a competitive format. Like that just isn't in my opinion. But you're right from the viewpoint of like a whole gauntlet of like it's like a marathon, right? It's like freaking, the Winter Olympics event where they snowshoe and they ski and they shoot guns and they run. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, those are all different
you're right.
People.
It tests
like
everything.
One person has to do all. Yeah, like it's
question. I want to get back to the actually I don't know. It's not a question. I just want to go back to the original statement from Bizek. And here I was thinking, I was like, what's the difference between Bizek's take about PC players on controller not being able to come back to console Sorry to completely interrupt and not talk at all. I don't know where you guys were going. I was really confused about that entire
Yeah,
argument.
we're on a serious tangent. Bring it home, Balla. Bring it home. Bring it
All
home.
right, so back to the point of console not be or PC players not being able to go back to console. Like I was like thinking in my head, I was like, why? What's the difference between PC players complaining about controller players playing on PC? And then it clicked, and I'm like, guys, like. Isaac, there's nothing wrong with it. No, it's not the same thing. There's nothing wrong with PC players coming back to console because they're still playing the same game. Okay, they're still playing on controller, on console, whatever it is, and they're playing the same game. There's nothing unfair about it. They still have to do exactly what you have to do. But in comparison, on the other side, we don't have mouse, we don't have aim assist. Like there's something unfair going. Like you know what I'm saying? There's something.
We have our whole arm and 90 keys and scroll wheel
Shut
reset.
the fuck
man.
up, Shyo.
The hard
You
part to me,
understand.
the harder part to me is what was alluded to earlier about how like console players just don't have the opportunities to practice like PC controller on PC players have, right? Like they just
I don't believe it
haven't had the
anymore.
opportunity to build that up.
Not
I guess-
since a man with cartoon
get-
Paul, baby. Cartoon Paul, baby. Been holding
Yeah,
down console
he's-
practice.
yeah.
Like there is
They're-
practice, man.
Storm
Yeah,
Surge,
there's-
Storm Surge
there's-
console
yeah.
lobbies.
Dude,
Yeah.
Wow,
playing
that's
it.
impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
All right.
obviously, the
Hell
thing
yeah.
is that like, okay, to play devil's advocate with that is there's a huge difference between playing a Storm Surge lobby against top pros, like say you're
Yeah.
playing a Storm Surge lobby with like everybody who's in elite, and playing a Storm Surge lobby of people who are on console or East Open or anything like that. Major difference in skill level. Major difference in like the graph and how fast the lobby dies off, for example. So yeah, like obviously the thing is that I think Balla made a great point of is the only advantages that PC players coming back to console have is that they have more experience playing those stack lobbies, they have more game knowledge and stuff. But the
Yeah.
thing is they don't have a hardware advantage.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not like they're playing on like better hardware or anything. I know
Well, you
the
got
whole mobile.
Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah,
say
yeah.
mobile. How good is controller on mobile? I'm actually very uninformed about this.
Well,
Like
they all say that all the PC pros that come back, they say like there's no input delay. I mean, I have no clue
There's
what
no
any
input
delay is
delay.
like because I've been on console my entire life. So
yeah. But
Isaac, buy a
No.
PC. What are you doing?
yeah, buy a fucking PC, bro. Like if you want it, I don't know.
Just
I think if
have
you
money.
want-
Just have money and buy a PC, bro.
Bro, my
You're
man's
talking to
like,
Isaac.
cash
He
up.
has money.
I
He
know.
wins cash
I
ups.
know. I'm making
I
fun of the
know.
sentiment in general than specifically.
I think that this is also unfair of us to say as well because Isaac could have more important things that he needs to spend the money on. We shouldn't have
Fuck
to
yes.
force. We shouldn't have to force him to spend his money on a PC. I agree
Yeah.
with that. But also, you should not be shrugging off top tier competition if you're going to get top tier competition money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
obviously,
mean, that sounds
it's
fine to me.
to
Like I
talk
get that it's
about- to talk
unfair.
about
Like it sucks, but I
console
think it makes sense.
consoles versus mobile. You know what I'm saying? Like console versus mobile, for mobile being at a huge advantage with the frames and less input delay and stuff like that. Like obviously that's an issue, but that's what you should be focusing on. It should not be okay. These PC pros are coming back to playing on console. Like you should have this level of competition if you're going to have this level of prize pool, which the prize pool is already overly inflated for the level of competition that console has to offer.
Alrighty. All right. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Oh, peace out, guys. Thanks for having
Cool.
me.
All right, man.
Thanks so much,
man.
man.
Have a good one,
Good
bro.
luck.
Good
Yeah,
luck.
good luck this weekend.
Yep.
You're gonna kill. I don't
Thank
care
you.
who it is, bro. Smash him. Just smash him,
Just
brother.
smash
Get
him.
it, bro.
Shyo
Smoke 'em like a
Hulk.
penis, baby. Smoke
All
'em
right,
like
I'll
a
put that in
penis.
my notes. Peace
Yes,
out,
sir.
guys.
Good luck, brother.
Peace.
What?
What?
Never mind. Never. I thought I heard something, but never mind.
Yo, he's still here. What do we do?
Nobody move. Nobody say anything
Why is
about
it-
console
Oh,
players.
God.
All right.
All right, do we have time for one more, Tim?
Yeah, we do, bro. Let's head.
Yeah, I got time for one more. Do you have time for one more, old man?
Yeah.
I need my beauty sleep. Yo, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, guys? My name's Ryan from Jersey.
Welcome
Hey,
back to the show.
another
Ryan.
dirty Jersey, man. You
Bro,
guys
I
gonna have a
hate
little
that meme.
meetup, a little
I hate that
hotline,
meme.
a little hotline FN. You know, a little dirty Jersey
Watch
group
party.
meet.
Let's go.
Yeah.
We can all
Driving.
call it at the same time.
A properly socially distanced watch party from Jersey. I like it. I'm about it. What you want to talk about tonight, Ryan?
Yeah, so before this game, the game that I played mostly was Super Smash Bros. Melee, and you guys
Ooh.
mentioned those kind of games. I went to local tournaments and stuff like that, and the thing that kept every single person playing was the drive, because the love of the game and the will to win. Everyone wanted to win.
Yeah.
And I think really the only motivating factor in this game is money. Like every time you see something on Twitter, it's like, why'd they cut the prize pool here? This, and the other. And I don't think if like Epic Games disappeared, like there would be any drive for anyone to play the game ever. Whereas like Nintendo actively went and shut down the like Evo 2013. Uh Super
Yeah,
Smash
good
Bros.
point.
Melee.
Yeah.
Super Smash Bros. Melee made it in by making the most donations to like a charity, and that was what won them in. And Nintendo issued an order to the I think his name's Mr. Wiz, the guy in charge of Evo,
Yeah.
and said, you can't run our game. We don't want you streaming it. You're not allowed. And then the community, obviously, because they were willing, like they were willing to donate so much money, they were like, this is not fair. Like, you guys can't do this. And Nintendo retracted it, and they got to play. But like I've seen people in chat saying Nintendo is like better than Epic. It's like, no, Epic is still like doing some stuff. I get it. They're doing the game the way they want to do it, but they're still running tournaments for us and stuff like that. It's just like I don't know. I feel like there's no drive in the community.
I mean, you want to know what the difference is between Nintendo and Epic? Like, would you still have a love for Smash if items were enabled all the time?
So
certain
okay,
items were forced 24/7. Like that is the disconnect.
no. So there is one big difference. I played the one for the Nintendo GameCube, a game that
Yep.
came out in 2001, almost 20 years ago, and
Yep.
it changed zero. There was one patch, I guess, for the European
Yeah.
release, but other than that, like everyone plays one version of the game and it never changes. And
And
I
that version
agree,
of the
like,
game is fun.
it's
It's
not-
good. It's
It's
mostly
not
well
even,
balanced.
It's not even the version change. It's just the fact that
Except for Fox.
when we first all started playing that game, like everyone loved Pokeballs. We went through that phase, right? We loved, like, the people who were picking up Fortnite probably loved the mechs, loved the jetpacks, right? It was dope in those seasons. But then when you grew up a bit, you would turn off items. You would start to play it a little bit more competitively. There was that option. When alluding to that previous one before, we just don't have the option to turn off items and play a competitive mode. I think that's the issue. That's what separates Nintendo from Epic. That's what I think makes the game by default, like Smash, the perfect game to strive for, because there's two different scenes. Like there's people that never touch it competitively and just play with their friends, enable everything. Never heard of, like I literally forget every Smash tournament in existence, but they don't know about wave dashing. They don't know about,
you're there.
side airs, et cetera, et cetera. Like they don't know about neutral game. Like
Yeah.
they just play the game and launch it, and they've been playing it for years, since Melee to Ultimate. And like now it's like in Fortnite, it's like there's people who are just that way as well. They just don't have the option. They have to play with Pokeballs on all the time. They have to play with the hammer. Like that's the issue. I think that's the disconnect.
Yeah.
I have a
No,
question.
Let's hear it.
Do you think if the game was to never change from maybe its highest point competitively, that people would stick with it for a long time, or do you think they would get bored of it and eventually move on?
Unquestionably. Because if you
They
take the
get
game
bored.
where it was at its highest point competitively, right? Whether you want to say that was just last season or you want to say it was X seasons ago, whatever that was, the game still evolved with no changes. Things like the building meta, things like edit tricks, these sorts of things came naturally with the mechanics that were there. The best things about competitive Fortnite are there in spite of Epic, right? Like, I mean, they introduced the original mechanics at the beginning of that kind of stuff and didn't know what they would become, right? But like, I think undoubtedly, if you a lot of people talk fondly about season 10, I think that those are stupid people. But like, if you've wanted to take like last season and keep it like that forever, I think it would hold people's attention and things would still feel fresh and new from a competitive standpoint. And then, like whatever, casual players keep all the items on and who cares?
So you think if they continued running tournaments, that dry season wouldn't have felt so dry? Obviously. I mean, obviously it would have felt less dry, but do you think that could have continued on for 20 years?
Yeah, I mean, just like imagine like screw FNCS, but just like imagine there was a third party qualifier event that actually had the max prize pool available and you had to fight for like 2 weeks to be able to play in, right? Maybe they'd have like 1 or 2 invites, but if that existed and that happened 4 times a year and there was 2 different third parties that did that at different times 4 times a year, you now have the possibility of making 20K a month, 6 months or 8 months in a year. And that is Fortnite competitive at its default with 2 third-party people organizing it, and that can ramp up over time. Epic can lessen restrictions. We have bigger prize pools. That's a scene that has nothing with Epic to do with it whatsoever. They would never have to touch the game at all. They would never even have to make more customization. We could just operate, right? Like that could be it.
Yep.
I'm with it.
Whether or not it will live for
I would-
20 years is, I mean, that's.
No, I know. I was just wondering. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I love the game. It's my favorite game of all time. So like, I'd play
Yeah.
it.
With last season, like the way that the whole game worked, I was super motivated to grind it and learn it. And I felt like every single death last season, there was an opportunity for me to learn from it. Like,
Yeah.
I could have positioned myself better in this spot. I could have rotated here. If this guy base is near me, I could have extended out another box and prevented me from getting focused or something like that. Like, I felt like the metagame last season was so much more in depth than it had been in other seasons, and which is why I really enjoyed it. And I felt like if they hadn't changed this new meta, we would still be learning more and more about last season's meta, just like any other game. But yeah, no, I think that the game could survive for years on end holding onto one meta. Obviously, it would need to be a little bit more polished. Last season's meta was it still had its annoyances. Floppers were still very annoying. Getting
Nades.
sniped in the head, nades, yada yada yada. We don't have to list off every single thing that annoys us about Fortnite, but yes, I think that the longer that season went on, the more I wanted to learn about it. The more I felt that I could learn about it. The more I felt like I could master it. And it was coming to a pinnacle towards like DreamHack Anaheim. Like I was really excited to learn about the solo meta, and obviously we saw that panned out. I kind of shit the bed, but I was like
Qualified for grand final.
I shit the bed, Balla. I shit the bed. All right, shut up. Leading up to that though, like I was learning so much, and I was so excited to play scrims every day and grind more and more and more and more, and thinking and like knowing that there was still more that I could learn. And that's what I miss about the game. Like the game just feels frustrating and hollow right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Period.
As far as drive, I've kind of talked about it a little bit, obviously, with my rant earlier, but there's some places that you see drive, sometimes some places you see passion, and I think clearly we care. I just don't necessarily know if we have it in the right direction, and I think that it's gonna be really hard. Like, sure, I might rant all I want about like how people should care, how people should work, how people should really want it to make it, but at the end of the day, it is gonna be hard, man. Like we have been conditioned to want money, to conditioned to see a cash cup and be like, yeah, okay, cool, we're getting paid, and so it's going to be hard to break that. And like I said, I also tweeted recently. I was like, if we don't change how reliant we are on money, then we're going to have an issue. If we don't have like
I wonder.
cash cups the way that they are right now, eventually we will not be able to run cash cups that way unless we start generating way more greater interest in the game, because there just won't be money to allocate towards that anymore. It just will be a fact, and then we're all gonna be like, okay, cool, we're done, like peace, you know. And I do take issue with the fact that people are like, oh, people wouldn't play this game if it wasn't for money. I think that in the beginning of the scene, like, sure, Epic threw money into summer skirmishes, but like the entire
Most
scene
people-
besides players,
Most
What?
people play this game for no money. The vast
exactly.
majority, with no understanding that they might make money, right? Like, yeah. I
Yeah.
agree.
100%. And just seeing hashtags like, all the different things that we've done shows that people care, shows that people have drive, shows that people have passion, I mean, shit, there's the whole Balla for comp stuff right now. Like, it's crazy. Like, that people are that passionate to support somebody who's just a caster because they want change and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
and to address that a little bit, like, thank you.
they want somebody who loves the game to run the scene,
Because
Like,
it
they
doesn't
want
feel like
somebody with
Epic
that
does.
same drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Balla, how have you felt
Right.
about? You think you're about to talk about it? How have you felt about the whole Balla for comp stuff?
It's crazy, bro. I don't know. I got out the shower one day and my phone was blowing up like crazy. It's just like ridiculous. So like to me, it's mind blowing that I've gone to such a spot where people support me that much, but I'm not interested. I'm not qualified enough for something like that at all. And so sure, it's heartwarming, but at the same time, it's like it's not a thing, right? So it's I don't know how this many people have gotten to their heads that this is a thing that's possible. It's insane. But hey, thank you guys. Much love, basically.
Much love. Much love to you, Balla. I'm gonna cry now.
Yeah, we're ending on a sappy note right here.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Gotta bring
that's
out the waterworks.
I think that's it for callers, right? Thank you, Ryan, so much for coming on the show and bringing this topic to us. A little bit of light from another scene, so appreciate it.
All right, have a good one, guys.
You
Thank
too,
you, man.
peace, man.
Peace, brother.
All right, guys, that's been another episode of Hotline FN. Thanks so much, Bumpaah and Shyo, and outro you guys. But I want to harken back. I said at the beginning, someone said right on the announcement tweet for this episode, you know, like, oh, Fortnite is dead party. And I hope that your takeaway here isn't that Fortnite is dead. I hope that you take away like a more nuanced view of that there's still a chance for Fortnite to be something amazing. And as it is right now, it's still something really cool, you know? Like, what we have right now is still something dope, right? But then you've got perspectives like Bumpaah's, and one that even I'm a little closer to sharing, that is like, man, I don't know how much more of this I can take. Like, I just don't know. And everyone lies somewhere in that spectrum, and everyone's feeling the negative, and hopefully enough people are feeling the positive that as things start to roll around, if they roll around, that there's still a strong community left here to support each other, support the game, and continue to build out an incredible competitive scene for the only building third-person shooter in the world, you know, that works the way it works, which is otherwise pretty incredible mechanically, right? Like,
Wait a minute.
all right.
There's that one. There's another one, isn't there? It's like something destruction. Anyways,
I
just
don't know
wanted to
what
make
that
sure
is.
we're fact checking. Anyway,
If you want to play a building game, go play Red Faction on the PS2. Yeah, then you can really break through walls. No one gets the reference. Okay. Anyway,
This guy's so old.
yeah, throwbacks to the PS2. I'm such a bummer. Okay, Shyo, what are you going to be getting up to, man, in this next couple of weeks, and where can people see you getting up to it?
Bro, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the FNCS finals are going on. I've been waiting 4 weeks for this, and I'm going to be able to see me on my channel, twitch.tv/Shyowager. Going to be casting that stuff. I'm going to be just looking at it and stuff. You already know the vibes. And on Twitter, I post some memes. I complain about Valorant. Again, I've been playing for just like 4 days, but still has issues. All games have issues, as well as Fortnite. Hashtag nerf raise, hashtag nerf aim assist.
I think you're just dog shit if you die to raise a lot. I don't know, man.
You're a Sage player, and you have no say in this argument whatsoever. You're weak and dirty. Do not speak to me. Anyways, that's what I'm doing. It's going to be lit in the next few weeks. That's always a secret, but it's going to be saucy. Keep it tight.
Gonna be saucy. Keep it tight, he says. Is that a Workaholics throwback? Tight butthole. Bumpaah, what are you gonna be getting up to?
Not.
You guys don't even know Workaholics? I can't even make Workaholics references?
I know Workaholics, but why do you have to say it? You know, like, nobody cares about your tight butthole.
The Gooch of America, Bumpaah?
That's so 2013, bro. Come on, man.
God damn it.
Grow up.
Bumpaah, what are you going to be getting up to, man?
Listen, man, I got Heat 2 tomorrow. Not streaming it. You know the vibes. I'm going to take comp semi-seriously. It's for my teammates' mental health. And then hopefully we make finals. And then after that, man, we're going full Valorant for a while at the very least. Hopefully Epic pulls a little Chapter 2 Season 1 where they don't announce any tournaments at all for like 80 days, I think it was, so I can fully focus on Valorant without any guilt or shame in the back of my head. We're going to become the It's Jerry of Valorant. You know the vibes. So twitch.tv/Bumpaah, youtube.com/Bumpaah. It's blow up season, baby. So yeah, I'm excited to play it. I really, really, really love the game, and hopefully it helps me take off. You know, I'm excited.
Bumpaah's a love at first sight type, you know?
Yes,
game
I am.
drops. He's in love with it.
I feel the love.
Honeymoon phases for a while, 2 years maybe, and then he's like, I don't know about this.
He's the tattoos. The
Bro, I played CS for 7 years, 7-8 years before Fortnite came along.
Mm-hmm.
My only goal in CS was to make a main team. I got offers to play main, and then I was like, I got the offer to play main, and that's like, when I got the offer, I was like, I'm quitting for Fortnite. You know, like, because I don't know, I just felt something special in it. You know, when I feel the love, I feel the love.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, and you felt the love for Fortnite.
I felt the love. I still feel the love for Fortnite. Hopefully, they can bring it back a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited to explore new opportunities in Valorant and see what I can do in the scene there.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Balla, Thanks again for co-hosting another incredible episode of Hotline FN, if I do say so myself. But what are you gonna be up to, man?
Broadcasts this weekend are going to be so much fun. So that's tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. Tim's involved.
I'm
Shaw's
involved.
Bump is kind of involved, which is really cool. So make sure you're checking that out on twitch.tv/Shyowager. And because it's going to be so sick, and it's going to be the culmination of 4 weeks of awesome things, right? FNCS, the most amazing Fortnite tournament that we have, right? Like that's what we have. You can have your qualms or whatever, but watch that shit and be hype about it because it's crazy. Also, drops enabled, just like Valorant. We're cool too. So
We're cool too,
make sure
guys.
you get your drops. Besides that, I'm also going to be doing a little Valorant. Hopefully, taking a small break because this season has been a grind, and I don't think I ever want to do something as crazy as this again with the broadcast like this. So because every single week it's just like we get on this high of super dope broadcast, and then instantly Monday morning we're just like, I don't want to work ever again. Like, because you guys don't see it all. Like, I think I've said it last week or whatever. I've said it other places. Shio and the entire broadcast team and myself, like, we're up constantly. It's like we do broadcast, and then we do story notes, and we do pre-show prep. We do all this stuff. We do a bunch of recording, and then we go to sleep at like 4 a.m., wake up at like 6 a.m., edit a bunch of stuff together, and the broadcast team as well doing the same type of stuff. We're constantly improving, constantly trying to change things, and again, that's too much of a grind. So Monday morning comes, we crash, we sleep until like 6 p.m., and then Tuesday comes, we're like, I don't want to touch anything, and then Wednesday comes, we're like, Valorant, please give me key, and then we get key, and then we're like, I still don't even have time to play this. So yeah, it's rough. Anyways, it's the end, so I'm excited.
Hell yeah. Well, that's that, right? I guess. So thanks everybody so much for being on the show. I love you very much. I will
Whoa. What are you gonna be up
Shayo?
to, Tim?
Yeah, Tim, come on, spill the beans. What the fuck, Tim?
Guys,
Talk
I'm
to
gonna.
us.
Fine. Okay. I'm gonna be casting some of the heats tomorrow and Saturday. I'm really excited about that.
No way.
I'm crazy excited about that. I'm gonna be casting with
Him the
Monster.
caster?
I might get an opportunity to cast with Shio, and I might get an opportunity to cast with Balla. I'm pumped.
Let's
I'm pumped.
fucking go.
I'm pumped. Come out.
That's
You
fun.
know, support your man Tim. Support the hotline. Like, it's great. It's a cool time.
We love Tim.
Yeah. Tell me.
Yes,
Listen.
sir.
Here's the thing. I definitely want to hear how shit I am. And if there's one thing
Yes.
the Fortnite
We're gonna
community is
dedicate
good
a
at,
full
it's
Hotline
telling people how shit they are. So let's hear it. Like, bring it on. Bring it on. Worst case scenario. I never cast Fortnite again.
Nah, man.
That's worst
You
case
got the
scenario.
boys, bro.
I'm
You
doing
got
it for
the
the first
boys
time.
by
It's
your
gonna be fun.
side. You're
It's gonna be
just
fine.
chilling, bro.
I'm stoked. I'm
Second
pumped.
time, you were still goated on Scallywag Cup, and
I did help out with Scallywag. That's true.
True.
That was a good time. My mic stand broke during Scallywag, so I was just like my chair also broke. I was literally standing holding my mic while casting.
Dream hack
Yeah.
vibes,
Little
okay.
dream hack vibe.
Yeah, so that was fun. That was fun. Other than that, I think I'm gonna hit the go live button one of these days on Valorant. I don't hit
Yes.
go live often otherwise, so that'll be fun. Maybe if I can convince Bumpaah to carry my scrawny.
You're really heavy.
But
That's all I
We're
gotta
running
say.
a little 5-stack after this, real quick.
Bro, I have to piss, and I'm
Do
really
you guys
tired.
forget the part where Balla said he needs his beauty sleep, and now he's like,
Yeah,
let's
wait.
play 5 stacks?
Yeah. Why are you cutting Hotline short if you're gonna play Valorant right after?
He's not cutting it short. We are
end the
long.
show?
Is this really the man? Is this really the
Like,
man
come
you guys
on.
Yeah,
want?
this is Shio's fault.
Hashtag
I'm
Balla
probably
for
not
comp.
gonna do anything.
Oh my god.
Hashtag
I'll
Balla
plug.
for comp. You
Get
can't even stay
all
here
right.
to finish
All right.
Hotline FN. He's
Shio.
going to play Valorant right after. Oh my god.
All right.
I'm doing this till the show ends.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Have a great night. I love you very much. Goodbye.
Bye, chat. Mwah.
Mwah, mwah. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning into Hotline FN. Here's what I'm going to be up to. I'm going to be up to getting this edited by my great editor, Grinicide. He's going to put it up on YouTube where you're going to go watch it. Not only are you going to go watch it, you're going to hit the like button next to it. You're going to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/TIMMCD. You can, if you're watching live, you can see that spelled out down here. And so you're going to do that. That's what you guys are going to do. That's what I'm going to do. That's our contract right now. That's how we're gonna support each other. The other thing is something I say every time, and I'm not gonna stop saying it. If you like something, whether that's the competitive Fortnite scene put on by the community and will be broadcast for all to see this weekend, or if it's just our little show here called Hotline FN, if you like something and you want it to continue, you have to support it. And I get not everyone can just throw money, you know? I get that. So like the stream, you know? Follow it. Turn on your notifications. Follow Balla, follow Shyo, follow Bumpaah. Check out the Twitters, check out the YouTubes. That's how we keep dreams alive. And that's how you continue to get great content. And that's like the main way we're able to pour back in, right? So that's the shit to do. That said, I'm trying to think anything else we need to cover at the end here of this episode of Hotline FN. Looking for sponsors. If you believe in the Fortnite scene more than Bumpaah does, let's get your logo on Hotline FN. So as always, thanks for watching Hotline.